Hello, hello, hello. It's your favorite boy, Ambassador, coming once again to do some rap review analysis kind of thing. Well, most of the time, I don't just go for the lyrics by lyrics analysis. I'm more of like the strategy, trying to think behind the scene, yeah. And most of the time, it can just be a guess, and how accurate that will be just depends on how much we can decipher or break through the lines, but that's what we're aiming for. And then the fans could as well comment, confirm, disagree, whatever they think. But I feel like the Khaligraph Jones song once again had a strong tilt towards South Africa, and then specifically towards Nasty C. But that's just a guess, as we're saying. I mean, some of these things I say in the beginning of battle or beef kind of things, you start by poking. You just poke the lion, poking, and then giving maybe subliminals, and then waiting for him to react or something, and then see the amount of traffic it brings. If there's no much in it, then you back off, yeah, because there's no point in going beef. The person is not responding, you're not getting enough traffic and all of that. What's the point? So I think Khaligraph Jones' attention is a lot more towards South Africa, because if you listen, like when he 1 minute 25 seconds he mentioned Shaka Zulu. We all know when he mentioned Shaka Zulu, you're getting attention of South Africans, definitely, and we know the direction where that's going to. Shaka Zulu, yeah, he said something about Shaka Zulu. Then by the time we got to 2 minutes into the song, he said signing big deals, Universal and Def Jams. And that's why we're tilting a lot more towards Nasty C. Nasty C is hot now in the game. In South Africa, if I turn towards South Africa hip hop wise, I'll see AKA Cassper Nyovest and Nasty C. But Nasty C seems to be rising a little bit more, and he just signed a deal with Def Jam. So if he mentions signing with Universal and Def Jam, I'm feeling like he's trying to get to Nasty C. I mean, poke him a little bit more. And then finally, just to confirm that he's looking at South Africa, he said, South Africa, baby, you're next. After bragging how he has gone through West Africa, Nigeria made him a vet and all of that. Although I feel like, okay, when he's talking about West Africa, maybe looking at Nigeria and Ghana, but I feel like Sierra Leone might disagree because of what the vibes we're getting from Sierra Leone right now. But he feels like now his target is towards South Africa. So he said, South Africa, baby, you're next. He's going to go to Josie. And when he mentioned that Mother Effers want to act like they don't know what I'm about in the South, I feel like that's a very familiar thing, you know. For us who are always, I mean, like myself, online, I'm always on hip-hop debates way back from school. I will do my research, master the lines, and then come for debates and all of that. Even when we're studying like Africans in the diaspora, it was always a bunch of Africans, and Nigerians and South Africa always have this urge of like, I don't know who you're talking about. It's annoying, but on the other hand, it didn't used to get to me because I used to sympathize with them. The same thing I used to tell Americans: if you don't know about Africa, it's not a display of being superior, it's a display of your ignorance, yeah. Because I know about Africa and I still know about America, so you have no excuse to know about only America and not know about Africa. And now we're tilting towards a global village. So same thing when it comes to Africa. Nigerians and South Africans always have that edge of acting like they don't know about other African countries because they are that big and that's all they know. But for me, it's a display of ignorance on the other end, and I feel like that's what's getting to Nasty to Khaligraph Jones. And you know, I mean, up in the West we have our own dynamics. Most of the time, it is Kenya. No, it's Ghana, Nigeria. Most of the time, but now down in the South/East, the hip hop world is more of Kenya, South Africa. But South Africa is way out there because of the means they have, the exposure they have, and all of that. And I feel like he also mentioned the whole thing of when you sign the big deals with the Def Jams and the Universals, they'll be gassing you up, saying you're the hottest speaker in the game and things like that. And you know, I mean, some of the means these guys have got, it's people like Nasty C and the rest. Nasty C, and I think Cassper Nyovest, aka those three as I mentioned, they have been on shows like The Breakfast Club, Sway in the Morning, Ebro, all of those shows in the States. And when they go out there, they're like, "Whoa, you dope, you from Africa representing," and all of that. But when I listen to the guys, it's true they're good though, but I just say, well, they have the mechanism and the machine behind them to get them to that level, but there are way more talented rappers in Africa who, that's what I feel like the YouTube game is going to bring. It's going to even the exposure game, And when everybody is exposed almost to the same level, then now the best is really going to emerge. That's why I really like the whole beef thing, because it's not like you don't get played, or my diss track does not get played on I don't know what, Ebro in the morning, then it's not exposed, or it doesn't get played in Nigeria or this year. The YouTube game is going to carry the beef game, and sooner or later you're going to hear about it, and then you'll be forced to do something about it. So it's really good. And so he says they'll be gassing you up as the hottest speaker, and he says niggas are getting catfish. Definitely. I mean, it's true. Burna Boy and the rest in Nigeria, it's more of the Afro, Burna Boy, Whiskey, Davido guys. So I don't feel like when he's talking about people being gassed up as the hottest speaker, he's looking at Nigeria. So it's definitely South Africa, because in South Africa we have AKA Cassper Nyovest and Nasty C. And then so when I listen to the Universal Def Jam line, I'm tilting more towards Nasty C. And so when you listen to those kind of jabs, you know he really wants South Africa to recognize his game. And so as I said, this whole thing is a matter of strategy. People are like, Kyle De Niro might be poking at him, Lyrica Joe is poking at Kyle De Niro pokes at Khaligraph Jones, Kyle is poking at Nasty C. But as I said, it's just your individual judgment. I'm not saying that anybody's bigger than anybody here, but when you see the strategic moves the various rappers are making, you can see where their minds are at. But now it's the fans who are going to really reclassify these things, and then as soon as you see the wave turning the other way around, I mean, like if you see Cassper Nyovest or Nasty C responding to Khaligraph Jones, or Khaligraph Jones responding to Kyle De Niro, or Kyle De Niro responding to Nasty C, know that the fan wave has started to even out. And it gets real bad. I mean, like I always mention, like the 50 Cent Ja Rule thing. In the beginning, it was 50 Cent all over Ja Rule's case. And after a while, when Mother Inc. had been grounded, I mean technically grounded, they had all these court cases. Supremes had been locked up, F. Gotti had been locked up, Ja Rule even did some time too. Because of the cases they had in court, they couldn't really go full swing beef wise, and they would have even gone physical if not of the court cases that were on them. Supremes was saying 50 Cent is a snitch because he was giving subliminals and giving hints to the police and things like that, and then so they could not respond. But some years down the line, when Ja Rule was going at 50 was ignoring him. That was just to show that the tides had changed. So same thing could always happen. Someone could be going at you, going at you, and then you start going back at the person, but the person really understands like you're going back at me now because things have changed and I'm now the bigger man and I'm not going to give you the attention too. So you have to struggle and earn that attention. Yeah, so that's what always happens in the rap game. And then so I feel like when he says niggas are getting catfish, we all know what catfish means. I mean, like they are being deceived that it is all, or they're making a bigger move when they sign with these bigger houses. But time will tell, because like for me, I always use the example of Nigeria when D'banj went and signed with Kanye West. And he felt like it was noise for some time, but when it came to the music, it was not all that, because he went with his producer Don Jazzy, but it was not making sense for Don Jazzy, so he came back and then started pushing his whole Marvin things and the rest. And then we all know that since then, D'banj has really not had a hit like that. So at times, some of these bigger houses make it look like once you sign with us, it's all going to be a bed of roses, you're going to blow globally and all of that. But I feel like the artists have to realize what makes you is the fans and the people who vibe to your music. So being a big thing in America without being big in Africa is not going to make any sense. So that's why he's just saying that these artists are being catfished, they're being buzzed up and all of that. But I feel like he's just taking shots at the South African rappers out there, and especially Nasty C, who is hot right now. So that's just my opinion, but time will tell. As I said, these things are just guesses because he's doing a lot of subliminals. He's not going directly like that, but time will tell. If Nasty C should react or some other South African should react, then definitely we're right by saying he's going towards South Africa. And surely if it's Nasty C, then that means, well, we were really good and precise with our analysis. So time will tell. Let's just see the replies we get from the field. Once again, it's your boy Ambassador. I'm out.